Here we go. Thursday, September 22nd, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you like this, Brian. First and foremost, always good to see you. Good to see you guys as well. There's something about this time of year, man. This is my favorite time of year. I love it when it's cold. Everyone in here knows that I keep the AC on, whether it's the summer, whether it's the winter, it doesn't matter. But I love this time of year because I can wear my hoodies. I don't sweat. It feels like football. This is the time when you step outside and you feel this type of weather. This is the time, in college football, this is when the college teams start separating themselves from the pack. That's this time of year. Also, my favorite time of year as I grab my cup, it is apple cider time. This is Franklin Cider Mill. Best donuts, best cider. Now, you can go to Wyers and Blake's and all the other.
What the hell's the donuts?
Well, I can't eat those on air, but, I can have this. I understand the fun at other orchards. You go to Wyers, you go to Blake's, you go out and about, you drive an hour and 30 minutes to go hay riding and all that kind of stuff. But if you want the best donuts, if you want the best apple cider, you take yourself down Maple, you take it a little bit past Telegraph, you make a left on Franklin, you take that down, and just before you get to 13 Mile Road, there's Franklin Apple Orchard on the right-hand side.
Lions fans very used to the cider mill very early, normally in the season.
That's all they have to look for, usually.
Right, absolutely. Tom Mazawey, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Hey, guys, I'm with Braylon and you. I love the fall. I just despise the winter. So I'm just going to try to suck as much fall in as I possibly can.
I don't like the winter either, but this next week of weather, the 7-day forecast is going to be in the 60s.
That's perfect.
Man, if I could get a month of 60-degree weather, it is just heaven to me. Maz, you were telling us a story about your doctor's appointment before we went on the air here.
I did.
Tell us about your doctor and your doctor's appointment. And did you get the digital exam?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course you did.
He asked me if I wanted. I'm like, of course, doctor. It's the first date. I'm easy. Nonetheless, I went to the doctor first time checking out the new doc, and he was phenomenal. I mean, I love this guy. And we're doing the interview, and before you know it, he gives you the head-to-toe physical. He tells me, I got great news for you. You're like batting 1,000. He's like, you're great. I mean, he did it all.
All. Okay.
And blood work, which I don't know yet. With the blood work, hopefully we'll come back okay.
Sure it will.
That takes a day or two. But at the end, he's like, we both know you got to lose some weight. I'm like, yeah, I totally know that. By the way, when I weighed in at my heaviest.
What's your? Will you share that or you won't share that?
I'll share it. 260.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, honestly, think about this. On August 14th this year, a little over a month ago, I was 234.
Little old you?
Little you?
Little
234. Now I'm down to two. At that point, I took it seriously a little bit. That's why I'm doing my diet. Yeah. Now I'm down to 222. I'm trying to get to 212.
Nice.
But Maz, it is 260, a little bit heavy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I'm saying that for your health.
You don't got to tell me that.
Right.
I know that.
Yeah.
And I also shrunk. I used to be 5'9". Now I'm 5'8".
Really?
Lies.
Yeah, I'm like a fire plug.
How does that happen?
I have
your bones shrink or
gravity,
some bone
I guess. Gravity.
Well, in my opinion, if I'm guessing, is Maz, you've been doing radio, you've been doing TV, you've been doing journalism for a very long time. Like, you sit down in those chairs and your posture changes. Yeah. It's like your spine changes. Like, you go from this, and the more you sit down, like, I even feel it. That's why I do a lot of lengthening of my back, a lot of lengthening of my torso, like after work and before work.
That's awesome.
Because you sit like this forever, and your back gets stuck like that, and you lose your height. You see, Spencer Haywood talked about it when he was here.
Well, he was still tall.
When you start off at 6'9", you're gonna still be tall.
So what did the doctor tell you?
So
he said lose weight.
Yeah, we got to lose weight. And he's like, did you ever think of going on one of those whatever diets, like medical weight loss or anything like that? And I'm like, yeah, not really. And he's like, why not? I'm like, because I like to eat. And he just broke out. You could tell it hit him good. I told him the truth. Well, I like to eat.
It is a commitment, though, and you really have you do have the ability to change your brain a little bit on this. Yeah. So I'm on a diet right now, and I think you and I are going to do one actually through Woodward Sports pretty soon.
That'll be nice.
But at Fox 2 earlier today, we had pizza all over the place.
Oh my God.
We had hamburgers.
Oh jeez.
We're doing a 3-hour 9 this week, so we had food. We had a food segment almost. I think we had 2 food
Chef
segments
Bobby
an
there?
hour.
Where's
No, he's
the
there
invite?
tomorrow.
Oh,
Where's the
geez.
invite?
So,
Sheesh.
I mean, it was so ridiculous today. And they were kind enough not to give me any food segments today. And it was something, and I didn't even try to go walk down there, but we had a charcuterie board, cheeses and meats and all this stuff. And
speaking my language,
you
right there,
just
man.
have to make a decision that, I'm tired of being this heavy, because it's not healthy. And it's not making fun of or anything like that, because I like to eat as much as the next guy. And what I do is I do this diet Monday through Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday I splurge a little bit. And each Monday or each Tuesday or each Wednesday, I'm 2 pounds less than I was on that specific day the week earlier.
That's great, man.
That's amazing. I'm taking a small bit of credit for your diet, though.
Yeah.
I'm taking a small bit.
Please do.
And the only reason why I say that, Maz, is because remember when we had Inky Johnson on,
I knew.
he said something that stuck in my craw. And then Ryan said something, I want to say a day later, and he was talking about his weight. I think it was around that time. He said, man, I'm this and blah. I said, look, remember what Inky said yesterday? He said, don't complain about what you're not willing to change.
That's it.
And I told him that, and he's been on it ever since. So I'm just a small piece.
No, I don't
stole
complain.
it from Inky Johnson.
I don't complain about it. I know what I am and what I have to do, and I control my own destiny.
Well, one of the problems with doing that is, and Bray, you could speak to this, everything we do socially involves food and alcohol.
Yeah.
Or at least everything I do socially.
Yeah.
You meet for lunch. You have a drink after work.
This is true.
You go
Happy
to dinner.
hour, lunch break.
Anytime you're getting
Tailgates. Watching a game.
it involves food or alcohol. So if
Golfing.
you are one of those guys that tries, like me, we didn't go out a ton, but we went out enough. I haven't been out I think we went to lunch once in the last month.
2 months.
Maybe 2 months. We were at the sushi place over here.
Oh, yeah. I always forget the name of that.
And where are we going to be tomorrow?
That spot right there.
Tomorrow we're going to be at Big Boy.
It's Friday.
Adachi. We were at Adachi. That's our last lunch.
That was 2 months ago.
I couldn't even tell you last time we got a happy hour together.
Yeah.
But a lot of that, most of that, nearly all of it is because of the excess calories.
Very true.
It's just
It's easy to stay away.
it is.
Yeah.
It is much easier to stay away. And again, down 12 pounds since August 14th.
Congratulations,
So you
Mike.
can
I'm proud
do
of
it,
you.
Maz.
No
you can
kidding.
do it. Tomorrow will be a Big Boy. I will indulge and maybe get back on my diet Sunday and train Friday, Saturday instead of
That's how it
Saturday,
starts.
Sunday. Yeah. Well, I got to give myself a little bit of life.
I'm going to be on you, though.
Hey, just quickly, we got Lomas Brown coming up 224.
Big Lone.
Talking Lions and Vikings. We've got Ron Johnson, Vikings game day analyst,
Big
Minnesota
bro.
Golden Gophers game day analyst, Detroiter,
Big
former
brother.
Detroiter. I guess you're always
No, he's
a
always
Detroiter.
Detroiter. He was always Detroit.
We're going to talk to him in the 3 o'clock hour, but I do want to get to a couple of basketball topics off the top here. One, Bojan Bogdanovic,
Yeah, Bogdanovic.
easy for you to say. He's coming to Detroit. He was traded to the Pistons today from Utah, salary dumped by Utah. But this is a really, really, really good player. Traded for Kelly Olynyk and Saban Lee. He's going to be a starter, man. I'm telling you, this guy is going to help this team. A team full of young guys. Bogdanovic is a true pro.
Yeah.
He's lights out. I mean, he's a 40% shooter from three-point range.
Career.
So, he scored 20 points a game in this league. This is a really good deal for the Detroit Pistons.
One thing we talked about with Troy Weaver in terms of picking up all these young talents, whether it's Jalen Duren, whether it's Jaden Ivey, whether it was Cade Cunningham last season, you got to start getting some experienced guys around him. Got to get some vets in here. Who are going to be the vets that these guys can look to make plays, man? Look no further. Not only was it a salary dump for the Utah Jazz, it was a salary dump for the Detroit Pistons as well. Next year, after this contract, there'll be $60 million. Like, there'll be $60 million ahead of the cap, so that's amazing, too. You want to get some guys that can play, and then he can shoot. Like you said, he's career 39.87, which, like you rounded up, is 40. That speaks highly, and like you said, he has scored 20 or more in this league for a full season, multiple seasons. It's going to be good to have him around some of our guys because we got some stretch guys, especially guys like Jalen Duren, that he can work with and help. So excited. Detroit just keeps seeming, man. it just keeps seeming to go the right way, and I love it because it's really about to be Detroit versus everybody. You look at the hire of Scott Harris, who we broke down a little bit, the Detroit Tigers. He comes from winning pedigree. Javi Baez knows him well his time with the Cubs. You look at what the Lions are doing right now, currently in first place. I know it's only week 2. We're currently in first place. And then the Stevie Y plan out there at the Red Wings. So Detroit versus everybody.
Everybody's competent. All 4 organizations now have.
And they talk together.
Yeah.
They talk together.
Right.
You hear what Stevie Y said, I talked to Scott Harris.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, man. When you start to cross-pollinate like that, man, you're going to get some success.
Pistons, I believe opening night is, 28 days away?
28 days away.
Like that.
28 days away.
It is ridiculous. The Pistons season is sneaking up on
Media
us,
day is Monday already.
Yeah, isn't that
Shoot,
something?
the Red Wings open up on the 14th, I believe.
Yeah.
Like, it's here. Both sports.
And by the way, our Woodward Pistons content is as good as any in this city.
Love those
Just want to
guys.
tell you that right now. If you're looking for Pistons content, our guys here at Woodward Sports with the Woodward Pistons crew,
That's what they live for.
as good as any in this city. Give them a follow. Give them a look.
Jeff, Kool-Aid, Chris, Murphy, those guys kill
Without
it,
question.
man. Yeah.
Without question, no doubt. Bray, there is another big story in the NBA, and it's even leading Sports Center today,
Yeah.
and that is the story of the Boston Celtics and their head coach, Ime Udoka, who we are all anticipating a season-long suspension today because of an inappropriate relationship. By the way, a consensual relationship involving a female staff member. That is according to Adrian Wojnarowski from ESPN. Udoka is widely considered as one of the best head coaches in this league.
Yeah.
But apparently this is quote-unquote against organizational standards, organizational conduct standards. I want to get your take on this. It was a consensual relationship, apparently against organizational conduct standards by the Boston Celtics. He could be in line for a years-long suspension by the Celtics, not the NBA. Nothing criminal about it, anything like that. I want to get your take on that. I want to do it next. And then we got Lions with Lomas coming up in about
Sounds
10
good to
minutes
me,
from
bro.
now. We'll do it. But first, a message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
Yes, sir. 27 locations, more on the way, 2 right here on Woodward Avenue. Got to get that tan, especially now with fall coming out. Not going to sit out in the sun very long. Join the Pepper Club, and they're going to save you by $5 against any competitor on unlimited tanning. And the cleanest salons in the D will be all yours. And you get to meet the Chili Pepper girls. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters is at chilipepperstanning.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
An insult. Saw Baydoun walk in here, and the other day I called him a lowlife because he
Lowlife.
swears on it.
Lowlife.
It's such an
Lowlife.
insulting word.
They lose a lot in mob movies, but when they use it, like when they use that one for some hard, it hits harder than the
Right.
cuss words.
God.
Shit, low life. Like, whoa, damn, why gotta be all that?
I can assure the entire audience, Baydoun and I love each other. We just have a good time.
It's
with
just
it.
jokes, man.
Yeah, it's just jokes.
Jokes
it's just
and jokes and jokes. Dave Chappelle right there.
Ime
man.
Udoka, the Celtics head coach, apparently, according to ESPN, Adrian Wojnarowski is going to be suspended for a year. That has not come out yet, but that's the report. And again, the report is that he had a consensual sexual relationship with a female staff member. This is the information that is coming from reports. The Boston Celtics, apparently this is against their, quote, organizational conduct standards. Those 3 words right there, organizational conduct standards. On the surface, I think this is one of the more ridiculous things that I've seen in quite some time, because
ridiculous.
It's consensual. I don't care who you sleep with, especially if it's 2 consenting adults and the like. However, one caveat, Braylon, before I throw it to you.
You know I'm ready to take off.
Yes, before I throw it to you, there is one caveat to this story. And again, the more information you have, the better informed your opinion about it can be. But based on the information that we have right now, there are 3 female staff members in the Boston Celtics organization. As we move towards a professional sports atmosphere, male-dominated professional sports atmosphere, where everybody's a man, and now you're starting to integrate some women.
Yeah.
There's female referees in football. There's female referees in basketball. There was a female assistant coach in the NBA, Becky Hammond. Michigan, University of Michigan, has their first female grad assistant.
Mike Morris's sister.
Mike Morris's sister. The Boston Celtics now have 3 female staff members. I can see a scenario where, as you integrate women into the male-dominated professional sports world, that you as an organization have a rule.
Yeah.
There cannot be any sexual innuendo, let alone sexual relationship among this. You can't sleep with your assistant coach. Okay? You cannot sleep with the female staff member. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. And there is a stiff penalty if you do, because potentially something like this could set back a movement.
Yeah.
And that's what I think you can call this, is a movement. There's now female play-by-play broadcasters, which is not out of the, 20 years ago was almost unheard of.
Right.
It is not that anymore. So that is the only out that I will give this story, is if it's something like that.
The first thing I'll say is consensual. If you don't know what consensual means, I'm a guy, she's a girl, we both say yes, and we got it on. That's consensual. One, if it's consensual, it's not my fault. I mean, it's none of my concern. Like you said, Ryan and Ermanni, I don't care. It's 2 consenting adults. It has nothing to do with me. It's none of my business. We would have not have known about this had the Boston Celtics not brought this to the table. But I don't think it's that, Ryan and Ermanni. I've played in the NFL. I've seen many relationships with guys on the team and women that were in some part of the franchise or organization. Be it guys talking to women in HR, be it guys talking to ladies that worked in community relations, or the list goes on. Some even more inappropriate than that. But this one reeks of something close to home, because the fact that it hasn't come out yet, and once again, I'm only speculating. The fact that it hasn't come out yet, it reeks of something close to home. And when I say something close to home, I'm talking about somebody that's not a staff member, but somebody that is connected to the Boston Celtics. I'm talking about one of the higher ups. I've seen this situation play out, and this wasn't pretty. The Boston Celtics are owned by the Boston Basketball Group. There are 6 individuals in there. Some of their daughters, who are all of age, are very involved in the organization as well. Outside kind of looking in. It reeks of a situation where Ime Udoka had consensual situations with somebody connected to the Boston Basketball Group. That's the only reason why we haven't talked about it. They haven't mentioned who it is. Yeah, they leaked 3 individuals. I don't think they give a damn if Ime Udoka has inappropriate relations with a woman on the staff. It doesn't seem to fit that. It doesn't seem to fit that bill. It does not seem to fit that bill, because the sports in America, they still act like they care about women. NBA does a better job than most, but they act like they do, but they don't. Look at the NFL. Look at what they did with Deshaun Watson. They act like they do, but they don't. I've been on teams before where owners have specifically said, don't talk to my daughter. That message has come down. I was with the New York Jets, and for lack of a better word, that has come down from ownership from time to time, passed through coaches or passed through messages, like their daughters are hang out their bars in the same area, etc. So what? You got to act like you don't see him. You got to act like you got blinders on, and maybe sometimes people can't see that. I'm telling you, it has to be something deeper than just one of the individuals that was on staff. Because if that were the case, then it would have got announced, or they would have just said, they would have brought him in. Ryan, why wouldn't they bring him in and say, hey, you know what? We know what's going on. We need you guys to knock that off. I'm going to need you guys to stop that. Suspension for a full year, potentially, because he's had relations that were consented with someone on staff. I'm telling you, there's a lot deeper to that. But, Maz, before you jump on, this goes out to Udoka. When I was growing up, there were two individuals in the black community that were goddesses. It was two. It was only two. There was Halle Berry and there was Nia Long. Put those pictures up. This is Nia Long and Friday. Oh my God.
Gorgeous.
This is Nia Long in
Love
1999. They just rolled through the picture. Look at that smile.
Come on, Craig.
Look at that perfection. The short hair was everything. This is Nia Long in 1995.
Beautiful.
Nia Long was everything. It was and this is Nia Long now.
God bless.
This is Nia Long now as a 51-year-old woman. She was the standard in my community growing up. It was Nia Long.
Not just your community.
I appreciate you.
Let me tell you.
It was Nia Long.
Don't just limit it.
My apologies. Let me step back. Let me speak from what I knew at that time. At that time, that's what I knew.
Don't just limit it to you.
It was Nia Long and it was Halle Berry. And I understand. And I understand the phrase. For the baddest woman on the planet, I can show you a man that is tired of having relations with. I get all that. But not these two. Udoka, I say to you, I get it. You're a man. But not Nia Long, brother. Nia Long.
For those of you who don't know,
Udoka
and Nia Long are not married, but they are together.
They're engaged.
Have a kid together, engaged.
And they're engaged.
Maz.
They were engaged.
Yeah. The only reason this is out is this is me. Someone is holding it over their heads that we're gonna drop this bombshell. Otherwise, this stays in house. That's the only thing I could think of. That why Boston would come out like this. That someone has got the goods and will drop the goods on them and make them look worse than what they look now.
Question to that. Is it the Boston? Is it the Brooklyn Nets?
No. You know who it is in my opinion?
The Brooklyn Nets?
No. You know who it is in my opinion? And here's where I'll disagree with you. Because if it is like an owner's daughter or something like that,
could be swept under.
The Boston Celtics just did their 3 female staff members a disservice.
Yep.
And they've done a disservice, period.
Sure. But if I'm one of those female staff members who has been doing everything right and now I'm being called out for something I did not do, I think there could be a potential lawsuit there.
Hell yeah.
And I'll tell you why this got out, in my opinion, and again, this is just a theory.
Yeah.
One of the female staff members who is not involved in this is either jealous or not happy about the fact that the cohort, the other, female staff member 1 is not happy that female staff member 2 is doing this and going against the rules.
So not only that, getting better favors than the other two.
Exactly. So that's kind of how I see this situation.
Never put it past a woman's scorn.
Yeah, that's how I see this situation.
I love that. That actually is amazing. Yeah. I like that messiness even more. But I'm telling you, man, it's something. I've been in situations where I've seen cats on the team talk to daughters that were
Nobody's disagreeing with that.
I've seen guys disappear. Yeah. I've seen guys disappear off the. I'm talking guys disappear off the roster, cut. And then all they say is like, "Hey, you know what? We had to let them go." Like, and you don't have to talk about it. Like that's what
happened here with the Tigers a few years back. Who disappeared to the Chicago White Sox? Yeah. Remember Prince Fielder?
Wasn't an owner's daughter, though. Well, I think that's.
I know
it was a player's wife.
Yeah.
Players.
Yeah. Well, that happens. That happens a lot. Sad to say that happens a lot. I'm just saying from
Avisail Garcia.
Yeah.
From my expertise, I guess you would have been in a situation before. I'm telling you, man, both of those make sense. Yeah. That one actually makes a little bit more sense. Like she saw it, she knows, she sees favors. She's like, you know what? Hey, I gotta expose this and or But I don't know, man. It's something about the daughters, man.
I get it.
You got to stay away from the daughters.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying I think the theory that I presented, and again, these are just theories without the benefit of the facts yet. They will come out.
Your theory sounds better now because it makes sense. Like mine's just kind of like, what? His daughter of an owner?
Well,
get out of here.
Just because that's your life experience.
But
You've seen it with your eyes. Yeah, absolutely.
But a year suspension.
Yeah.
A year suspension is really something. It's something.
That's pretty heavy. I mean, at that point, just make the firing. Right? I mean, if you're going to go that length,
if they don't fire him or suspend him, then the Boston Celtics really dropped the ball in this house. You got to suspend him the year of firing. You can't not suspend him at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, gang, we're going to take a break. Come right back. When we do, talking Lions, we'll do so. We'll try to get in touch with Lomas Brown. Expect you to join us. But we are talking Lions. Let's go. But first, a message from Cintron.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings. And right now, Cintron has combined all their flavors into a limited edition 6-pack. CintronWorld.com/Red Wings is where you can pick up this 6-pack. That is the cranberry, the sugar-free, and the classic. So good they are. They are trying to get in the community and energize the community. Be a part of the community. They're trying to be a part of the rebirth of the 4 sports teams and also Woodward Sports. How about you let them energize you as well? Drink it, live it with Cintron.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
The Monroe Street Midway is still open until September 25th, which means you still have time to experience Detroit with roller skating, mini golf, art, live music, food trucks, and much more. It's a fun and safe environment for everyone, all ages, 1 through 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more info, and we will see you at the Midway.
I don't think there's a day goes by where I'm not, man, that's a hell of a block by this guy. But there again, he takes pride in it. He works at it. It's something that he wants his teammates to know that he's here for all of it. You know, he's not here just to catch passes. I mean, he's here to do whatever needs to be done, and that's why his teammates appreciate him. And
that was Dan Campbell talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Lions wide receiver, really, really separating himself as the number 1 for this football team. And he's just having fun right now. He is just on a mission, Bray. Yeah. As far as wide receivers go, we can't talk about him enough. I think Dan Campbell made the comparison, called him a pit bull that happens to play wide receiver. I mean, there's not enough superlatives to talk about how good this guy has been as a 4th-round pick for this franchise.
He's an amazing individual. And the thing I love about him is his willingness to, you know what, these guys passed on me, these guys passed on me. He's holding that chip on his shoulder much like Tom Brady did. But what did Dan Campbell say? Who did Dan Campbell compare him to, man?
Here you go. We got that cut. Let's
play that before I hear it. I want to hear it. I want to throw my hands up.
I think, Brad was on him early, but I know for me, watching him, he reminded me of Jarvis Landry, just his competitive nature. He played smart. He was an aggressive player with the ball in the air. He would attack the football. You saw him block downfield. He was versatile. He had quickness. And really the only thing he didn't have, he wasn't a 4-3 guy. I mean, but everything else were traits that we felt like fit us, and he would be a natural fit in the slot. And I think just in general, the group, really what you want is you want versatility. You want a little bit of everything. You want some pure route runners. You want speed. You want size. You want craftiness, quicks, and I kind of feel like we have that in that room. We have the right blend of guys. They are all a little bit different and unique in what they can do.
You know what? I hate saying.
No, you don't.
You're right. I don't. I told you. No, I'm just messing with you. No, but he definitely reminds me of Jarvis Landry. Not the fastest guy, but runs amazing routes. Has a tremendous work ethic, and I can actually even add somebody to that. If you mix Jarvis Landry with Hines Ward, I think that's what you get is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Because the one thing I didn't account for is Hines Ward loved to block.
Right.
And you're seeing that with Amon-Ra St. Brown. He does not mind going there and mixing it up with bigger guys than him just so he can clear the way for DeAndre Swift, his fellow brother in arms. So I like that comparison, and I like that he's taking receipts like Randy Moss did.
Yep.
When Randy Moss got drafted 22nd.
I bend the knee, Braylon. I bend the knee. I mean, you said Jarvis Landry. We asked who he reminds you of, and you said Jarvis Landry. And then a day later, Dan Campbell comes out and says Jarvis Landry. It's pretty darn good. Let's bring in our guy, Lomas Brown, Lions radio analyst, part of the broadcast team with Dan Miller.
Big
there. Lomas, how you doing, my friend?
I'm great, guys. How y'all doing? Y'all sound like y'all having a great time today.
We are, absolutely.
That's what the Lions are good.
Yeah,
finally.
That's what winning does, Lomas. That's what winning does. And just to pick up on something we were talking about in Dan Campbell, what you've seen from Amon-Ra St. Brown, this fourth-round pick that has really come in and separated himself. And I love the analogy of he's a pit bull that plays wide receiver. Just what have you seen from this guy?
Yeah, to me, and Braylon knows, man. Braylon, it's just amazing to me how the guy gets open. How he just, like you say, he don't have the blazing speed.
Yeah.
But he just seems like an old soul to me. And what I mean by that is, like, he's been here before. He's playing a lot older than he is. He's playing like a 10-year vet where he knows how to sit down in zones. He knows leverage against different players, he just knows how to get open. And to me, that's a knack. It seems like it is, and it's something that you continuously develop. And for him to be doing some of the things he's doing in just his second year, it's just unbelievable, man. So it's just unbelievable what he's doing. And so, doing stuff that no other wide receiver has ever done. That's a mouthful to say.
Hey, Lom, talk about this. Let's stick here with Amon-Ra St. Brown for a second. Talk about the fact that you got a guy. Talk about what it does for the offensive side of the ball, what it does to the linemen, the running backs, the quarterbacks, and the offensive coordinator when you got a guy in Amon-Ra St. Brown that, not only does he want to catch passes, he's going there and mixing it up with the linebackers and the D ends, and he's blocking for DeAndre Swift. Talk about what that does to an offensive room and how you guys perceive that at the wide receiver position, which is a position everybody calls a diva position.
Yeah, no. So that's what we had back when we had Johnny Morton, Brett Perriman, and Herman. That's why Barry was as successful as he was. We could only get him through that front line of defense and maybe the second line, those linebackers. But you had to have guys downfield blocking to take care of those safeties and take care of those corners. And Herman and them, they took pride in doing it. And I think that's the biggest thing. You got to want to do that. That's got to be something that you want to do, that you take pride in doing, is getting downfield and blocking. And that's what I see a lot of him in, especially in Brett Perriman, because Brett was a dog, man, out there blocking guys. He took a lot of pride in trying to get what you can't do now. Yeah. But he took a lot of pride in trying to get those guys, and that was his opportunity to get back at some of those safeties, DBs, and even some of those linebackers. So what Amon-Ra St. Brown is doing, and what that whole wide receiver staff is doing, I'm gonna tell you, the person that don't deserve that doesn't get a lot of credit, that deserves more, is Antoine Randall. Think about it, man. He's taking young guys, he's developing them, he's giving them that attitude where they want to go downfield and they want to block and be involved in the run game. And you could think about how he played the game. He was a guy that got open, got in those slot positions, a guy that he could take the top off too. But just think about his playing career, and you can see a lot of that too, to me, and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Talking to Lomas Brown. Lomas is of course you know him as a former Lion, great Lions radio analyst on Twitter at LomasBrown75. Hey, Lo, let me ask you, something we've been talking about all week. Is this team real? all the national pundits seemingly are talking about how the Detroit freaking Lions are a really good team. And look out, NFC. They're a potential playoff team through 2 weeks. What do you see out of these guys, big picture?
So I'm going to tell you, for me, it takes 4 weeks for me. I ain't going to even lie to you. For me to give you my honest opinion about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you just can't form an opinion about a team in 2 weeks. I don't care whether it's good or a bad opinion. It's just not enough. You haven't played enough games yet this season to determine that. So, to me, come back to me after week 4, then I have a really good picture of what type of team I think the Lions are going to be. We do know that they're a team that's going to fight you every play. We know there's a team that should be in the games late in these games, and it seems like right now a team that's going to put up a lot of points and yardage. But again, man, you got to come back to me in about 2 games. We can have this conversation.
I agree with you 100%. You got to see a quarter size. Well, it used to be a quarter, now it's more because of 17 games. It used to be a quarter to four game snapshot. Lon, let me ask you this. After 2 games, what is something that you've seen that you've been impressed with, not the average thing that everybody's saying? What's something that is stood out to you, and what's something that you want them to work on?
Well, I'm shocked at how well the linebackers have played right now. And not to say they played real well, but again, that was one of the spots I wanted to see how we were going to respond, especially Braylon, since, they went to that wide 9 technique in the 4-3 defense where you got these defensive ends and a 9. Looked like Aiden Hutchinson one time was in the 11 technique. Man, he was so wide. But you know what that does? That create automatic running lanes for the running back. So the linebackers have to be responsible for that. So far, it hadn't hurt us. They've been doing pretty good against the run so far. And to me, a lot of that is attributed to what the linebackers have done. So we'll see. We'll see how they can keep this going. But right now, I've been surprised with how they've been playing. And then my other surprise, Jeff Okudah, man. Jeff has been balling, man. I don't think people talking about, how he's been going up against some of these quality wide receivers that we've seen. And he's been holding his own so far. So I'm shocked and happy about those 2 things.
Lomas, I got something for you. Jared Goff right now is playing pretty flawless football. Yeah, he's underthrown a few balls, but he's trying to play his game. He's staying mistake-free for the most part. DeAndre Swift looks like he's running with reckless abandon. Jamal Williams down low in the goal line. They're averaging 7 yards a carry. Have you ever seen anything like this since your era, since the 90s? I compared this offense to your offense in the 90s.
No, I haven't seen anything like that. It's been unbelievable these first 2 games. Like you said, man, they've been running the ball wild. And that's what you have to do, man. If you have success running the ball on the ground like they have, it's going to open everything else up for them. So I'm happy about it, especially with a beat-up offensive line. Just think about it. We hadn't even had our first unit out there yet, and these guys have been running the ball the way they have. So to me, that's just refreshing to see that they are doing some of the things that they came into the season, some of the goals they set for themselves, and they're accomplishing some of these. And hopefully they can continue to do this, man. If they can continue to run the ball the way that they are, Jared is going to have a big year. Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to have a big year. They're going to have a big year in the passing game if they can keep that running game going the way they are.
I want to talk about your brethren, the offensive line, like you were just saying. They're banged up. But how about Dan Skipper? The story of Dan Skipper. I mean, tell me about Dan Skipper, and have you seen something like this in your time?
Hey, first of all, I want to tell you, playing at 6'9" to play guard with these shorter guys, that's impressive to me, man. Because, man, you're going against these little squatty body guys that can get up under you. So that's the first impressive thing. The guy's 6'9" playing guard. But, man, hey, look, the true sign for an offensive lineman is if you don't get your name called out a lot, by the referees and, us announcers up there because you're doing something wrong. He played almost flawless, man. He had a couple of hiccups, but other than that, I thought he played very well. And, man, that's what you want. That's what you want out of your backups, to be able to step in there and keep the level as high as those starters kept the level. And that's what he's been doing the first couple of games. And, looking forward to him, even if he isn't starting the whole season, looking forward to having that depth that you need in the NFL, because we know it's a long season. We got a lot of football left. So hopefully, man, this experience that he's getting now, it could pay off later on for us if we have to use him again.
Hey, Lomas, last thing for you. I think most Lions fans, and I think I can say that, would look at the schedule prior to the season, see Week 3 at Minnesota, and go loss. If this team goes to Minneapolis and comes back with a win, and again, I know it wouldn't be the fourth game, but the third game, wouldn't you learn a lot about this team?
So for me, I'm telling you, I didn't have Minnesota as high as a lot of people had. I mean, I just didn't see it. I didn't
Kirk
see
Cousins,
what was the
bum.
I mean, I just, even without Kurt, I mean, yeah, they got Justin Jefferson. But, I mean, Dalvin Cook is good. But outside of that, I just didn't see a lot for people to be up and roar about Minnesota. So I actually had them splitting with Minnesota. So that wouldn't shock me if they go up there Sunday and beat Minnesota, because like I say, I'm not like everybody else that have this big belief that Minnesota's I heard a Super Bowl with Minnesota. I'm like, what in the world are they talking about? So I don't see it like that again. Like I say, I had them splitting with the Vikings early in this year. They could even take them from the Vikings. So I wouldn't be shocked about that myself. And Maz, y'all guys going to have to give me one more game. You're going to have to give me 4 games. I'm like Braylon. Give me a 4 game, at least a quarter, what used to be a quarter of the season. Give it to me, then I'm going to give it to you.
Amen. Hey, I lied. Last thing. DetroitLions.com or Detroit Lions Twitter put out a video of Dan Miller and you calling the highlights this week. Miller was jumping up, fist pumping, everything. Describe what Dan Miller is like in the booth. That is a rare look inside the booth.
Hey, look, so I'll tell everybody right now, that could have been a field goal, and that would have been his reaction. I'm telling you, man, this dude, man, I'm telling you, he is awesome, man. He makes all our jobs easy up there, man, and he gets you pumped up, man. You be pumped up there. So I always sit back and I wait, because he's going to give you 2 or 3 good lines after somebody scores. So I sit back, let him get his 2 lines in, then I throw my line in. And there's nothing compared to what Dan Miller do for you. He is the best, man, the best.
Hey, Lone, quick before we get out of here, man, give me a thought on Ime Udoka out there and with the Boston Celtics, man. You know about that?
Oh, my God, man. Yeah. So the only thing I can say, Braylon, is nothing else hadn't happened, right? They hadn't fired him.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay. So the only thing I could go off is consensual. That's all I'll say.
There it is.
It's grown people, man. It's grown folks, man. You work around somebody, man. You can have an attraction to somebody. I never kind of understood that. I never thought that was a detriment in the workplace, unless you are up there, taking it aboard, where it doesn't need to
It's not like we listen to it anyway, Lomas. I mean, I'm speaking from experience.
Yeah.
Hey, Lo, thanks so much, my friend.
Thanks, Lomas.
Thanks so much for doing this, man. We'll hit you again after week 4. After week 4, we're going to get you back.
After week 4, I got you.
After week 4.
All right.
And we got to get you in the Hall of Fame, by the way.
Oh, man, ASAP Rock.
He's going.
Hopefully it'll happen.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
God got you. God got you.
Lomas Brown, Lions radio analyst, former Lions great, Super Bowl champ with the Giants, of course, at Lomas Brown 75.
Consensual.
At Lomas Brown 75, period.
Consensual.
All right, we're going to take a break, come right back. Want to ask you about Jared Goff, continue a conversation we had about him. Is Jared Goff the quarterback for this Detroit Lions football team that is going to be a part of this team for the next 4 to 6 years during this run? Because I believe they are going to be on a run now in the NFC for at least the next 4 to 6 years. Is Goff the quarterback. Have you changed your mind on him? We'll have that for you next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts. Have been for over 90 freaking years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what is important to you stays safe. Call that number right now, 1-800-STAY-OUT. 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
Stay out.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz for Big Boy, and guess what? We are all, the whole Woodward family is going to be at Big Boy tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Rochester Road and M59. That's the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy and us right here. Come try the new loaded fries, the new burgers, and more. Hang out with the whole Woodward Sports crew. See how the shows are in live action. We will see you tomorrow at Big Boy in Rochester.
Big Boy.
If anything, the first 2 weeks have shown us how far we have left to go.
That was Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, woodwardsports.com. Check us out. Lots of different things there among the shows. Morning Woodward, Big D Energy, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Heavyweights, Woodward Bets, blogs, news, shop, all that good stuff. Check it out, woodwardsports.com.
Yeah, the good thing that you hear right there out of Ben Johnson, man, is actually where I was going to go, kind of reacting to Big Brother Long, is it show you how far you have to go. Now, you're doing amazing things. The Detroit Lions are, they're 1-1. They scored 35 points against the Philadelphia Eagles, who we believe to be the best team in the NFC. And then they come back at home and they dominate and control the game the whole entire 4 quarters against the Washington Commanders. But just like Lone said, relax. You got to take a step back and just, hey, it's only been 2 games. We still got room to go. You look at the Detroit Lions on the defensive side of the ball, so as much as you want to make about the offensive side and how well they play, the Lions, after 2 games, because you're talking about how well the offense is, you're talking about the numbers the offensive score, you're talking about 35.5 points a game that you're scoring. Okay, well, let's look at the defense from this standpoint. The defense is 27th in the league against the pass, 26th against the rush. They're first in points and they're first in yards given up. This is a defense. These are real stats. We're going to talk about Jared Goff in a couple of minutes, and I'll save what I have to say for then. But as much as you like what's going on the offensive side of the ball, there are some things that you can correct over there. But the good thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, Detroit Lions fans and Detroit Lions bandwagon fans, is this. You can fix it from a place of being tied for first in your division. You can fix it from a place of knowing that you can score points, of knowing that you can shut down a team for a whole second half if you need to at time. Or for a whole half, because it took the Washington Commanders all the way into the end of the second quarter to score a point. So you know that you have the ability to hold NFL teams at bay. You know you have the ability to score on NFL teams. So that's the good news. So take the good with the bad, and now, like Ben Johnson said, now you go back to the drawing board. Now you start to slowly fix and tweak things. That's how you have success. You throw the product out there, and when the product, you say, okay, cool, put the product on the line, got to do this a little differently, got to tweak this, maybe turn this around here, and now it looks good when people come in the store and buy your product.
Jared Goff, is he the quarterback for the next 4 to 6 years with the Detroit Lions as they seemingly are ripe to go on a run here over the next few years. Is he the guy? We'll talk about that next. But first, a message from Gypsy Vodka.
Summer's over, but Gypsy is still here. And now, the Mulligan by Gypsy Vodka. 8% alcohol seltzer. And it is 8%. I say it every day, but I'm telling you guys, be careful. It's 8%, but it is a smooth 8%. Lemonade, mango, and iced tea are the flavors. And also, how could you not support in-state distillers? Right here, Adam and Mike, out of Petoskey, Michigan. Come on. You got to enjoy the product, but the product is good. Made with Gypsy Vodka, who I always love. And now you infuse it in the Mulligan. Whether you're at the golf course, which you got about a month and a half left, or whether you're at tailgates, be careful, though. At those tailgates, drink the Mulligan and be safe and drink responsibly.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Academy of Warren. Are you interested in expanding your career and making a difference in your community? If so, the Academy of Warren is the place for you. Academy of Warren for professionals. And whoever has a passion for working with students in the K-8 department and more, give them a holler. Academy of Warren. For more information on how to apply, call them at 586-552-8010 or visit academyofwarren.net.
However you feel about the Detroit Lions this year aside, I think this football team, this organization, is about to go on a run here and compete for a championship over the next 4 to 6 years.
Yes.
You agree with that?
100%.
Where are you on that?
Yeah, they definitely have the potential to do so, yes.
Is Jared Goff the quarterback for the next 4 to 6 years? I think we have all come in to this season. And again, it's only been 2 games, but we've all come into this season, fair to say, Jared Goff has a stopgap quarterback.
Yes.
For the Detroit Lions. Next year's draft filled with quarterbacks. You go get your quarterbacks, and your quarterback of the future is in that draft. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think Jared Goff at 27 years old is the quarterback of the Detroit Lions, not only for this season, but next season and seasons beyond. I think he is the guy for this franchise over the next 4 to 6 years that this organization is going to go on a run. They will compete for a championship, and I think Jared Goff is that quarterback. I went back and I looked at some of his stats over the course of his career, and of course, I wrote down a laundry list of notes on it and left it at my desk at Fox 2 earlier today, so I apologize for that. But I was really surprised. He started 4 full seasons in L.A. 3 of those seasons, one of them he was 6th in passing yards, 4th in passing yards, 3rd in passing yards. That was 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. In 3 of those 4 years, he was a top 6 guy passing. In 3 of those 4 years, he was a top 10 guy throwing touchdowns. And clearly, if you build a team around Jared Goff, or if you build a football team, Jared Goff can clearly be a quarterback that can get you to a championship. The same guy that helped build that Los Angeles Rams team that got to a Super Bowl is, oh, by the way, now the general manager of the Detroit Lions and building this organization the same way they built that Super Bowl caliber team. Matthew Stafford did not win a Super Bowl until he had an entire team, not a player like Calvin Johnson. It took an entire team. And I think Jared Goff can be and is that guy for this team. I have totally changed my opinion on Jared Goff. He's the quarterback for this franchise. You do not need a quarterback in next year's draft. In round 1, I'll say, I do think you should draft a quarterback and groom a backup or sign a backup. But nonetheless, I don't think you need to take your first pick in next year's draft and get a quarterback.
I disagree. I don't necessarily think you need to get a quarterback next year, but I disagree. Like, you're talking about a guy who yesterday we were sitting on this very desk and we were comparing who's a better quarterback between Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins ain't winning no Super Bowl no time soon. Who's a better quarterback, Jared Goff or Carson Wentz? Carson Wentz ain't win no quarterback no Super Bowl anytime soon.
My answer to those questions clearly was
I understand,
Goff,
but the fact that we can even ask that question, like, we're not asking that question, who's a better quarterback, Carson Wentz or Patrick Mahomes? Who's a better quarterback, Carson Wentz or Justin Herbert? We're not asking those type of questions, but we're asking those type of questions about Jared Goff. For as much as you make about Jared Goff having 6 touchdowns, he's 57% completion rates right now.
Worst of his career, by the way.
And
he's a 62, 64, 67 guy.
And 57.
And this year through 2 games, 57. Let's see where it shakes out at the end of the year.
Well, currently through 2 games, you said that the Detroit Lions are 4th in the power ranking.
Yeah.
So stick by him. After 2 games, the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, 57% completion rates. He's missing throws. He's overthrowing. And it's not like he's missing throws in tight windows. It's not like he's giving guys 50-50 balls or there's pass interference. He's missing guys that are butt, booty, naked, wide open. And he can't hit those guys. So is he the quarterback for 6 years? The answer is no. Now, could he be the quarterback for this year and the following? 100%. Could he be a quarterback that gets you to the playoff this year, sneaks in as a wild card? I think so. Could he be the quarterback next year that takes you to that next step, maybe even get to a semifinal game? We'll see how things shakes out once Jameson Williams comes into play. But I think maybe he can even be that, though. But there are quarterbacks that can get you to that far. Kirk Cousins can get you to semifinals. Like, Carson Wentz can get you to the semifinals. Jared Goff has proven he can get to the Super Bowl. All those stats you named, once again, offensive play, they were amazing on the offense side, and it looks like the Detroit Lions can be that. But great quarterbacks take you to that next step, and they win games, despite the play of the offense, despite the play of the play caller. Yeah, Sean McVay, he pooped the bed against the New England Patriots in that Super Bowl, but that's where a great quarterback takes that next step and says, you know what, I'm not worried about that. We'll make plays. So I think he's definitely the perfect situation, as you called it, a stopgap for the next 2 years. But they got to be looking for a situation like Russell Wilson, where we'll get to, not necessarily him because it's not working in Denver. It may not all be his fault. But they got to get to a situation in 2 years where you're trading one of those quarterbacks that want to get out of somewhere that's going to be good. Maybe it's a Justin Herbert. Maybe the situation doesn't work out in L.A. Maybe it just doesn't. He can't get past Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe it's Justin Herbert. But it's going to be a situation like that because you're finally going to put your team, talking about the Detroit Lions, in a situation where we got everything. We just need that quarterback, kind of like the Rams did with Matt Stafford.
Matthew Stafford won his first Super Bowl last year because he had a complete team, like he was saying. He had a great defense. He had a great defense here with Detroit 1 year, maybe 2.
Yeah.
But the offense was lacking. So he didn't have it all here. He got it in L.A. Now, going forward, you said Carson Wentz and Kirk Cousins, they're not going to win a Super Bowl. But if they had the defense that Matthew Stafford and others had, they could damn well win a Super Bowl. And that's what Jared Goff is. If he does good this year and gets you in the playoffs, he's going to get paid. So then he is going to be your quarterback going forward. If he gets him in the playoffs this year, Braylon, he's going to get paid. Now, I already said we wanted Malik Willis. We wanted Tua the year prior to that. Remember Tua? He can't hit the broadside of a barn.
No,
all of a sudden, he's a freaking star.
Yeah, but there's
so Goff can be okay. He's not Brady. I'm sorry. He's not Brady. He's not Mahomes.
Right.
He's not those guys. Right. We know that. But he is a solid quarterback.
I disagree with the Tua comparison. Tua's in year 1. I mean, your Tua's in year 2 right now, and everybody, they jumped on the wagon of some analyst that made a comment that said Tua can't get the ball down the field. Tua is this, and everybody rode that wave, and everybody is saying that. That's not the same. What you're seeing from Tua is the same person that Tua always was. He now has a team around him. As it relates to Jared Goff, if Jared Goff was that guy, then Sean McVay wouldn't have got rid of him. Then Sean McVay wouldn't have let him go. Sean McVay wouldn't have lost faith in him because they got the same team that Matt Stafford had. And obviously,
he fell in love with Stafford.
I understand that, but that wasn't. He already loved Stafford. He already was out of love with Jared Goff because he knew Jared Goff wasn't the quarterback to get you over the hill. You don't wake up all of a sudden in 1 year, in year 8, and say, you know what, I'm the guy that can win the Super Bowl now. You are who you are. And Jared Goff, although he's definitely a quarterback that has had some success in the past, he's not a guy that's going to take you to that next level and win a Super Bowl by no means. When I watch him in the huddle, he doesn't have that type of command where you look at him and say, you know what, that's the guy. Yeah, he can win a game. He can even sneak and win a game that he shouldn't win. They almost beat the Rams last year in Los Angeles, so he can almost win a game like that. But he's not the guy that I ever fear, and he's not the guy that I think the Detroit Lions need in year 3 of this Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell regime.
Greg Hartman on the Woodward Sports Chat says, would we go after Lamar? Look, that is one of those shrewd moves that I would not put it past Brad Holmes.
I told you he won't be there at the end of this year. Like, my prediction was Tampa, because Tom's done at the end of this year, at least for the sake of his marriage. He better be done at the end of this year. Tom's done. And the disrespect to Lamar Jackson is very real with the Baltimore Ravens. He beefed up in size. He's a little slower now. Hey, look, man, he's got to make a move and make a move soon. I think it's going to be Tampa, but I would love to have him here.
There is no quarterback in this draft class. Not C.J. Stroud, not what's the kid's name from Alabama? Bryce Young. There is
Williams.
Nobody in this draft that I would rather have than Jared Goff next year.
Really?
Nobody.
No.
Then I'd rather have.
You're jumping to conclusions right now.
I'm not. Why?
You are.
Who? Who
the kid from Boston College, and it's. And
you don't even know his name?
No, I don't know his name.
I know.
Listen, there's going to be like 5 quarterbacks by the end of this year that are going to be can't miss projects.
But what did Braylon tell you? What did Braylon tell you about college quarterbacks?
You got to win.
You got to win. Boston College don't win. If you are,
he left Notre Dame to go to BC.
I understand that, and
he's got the size. He's got the big arm.
I understand
that. For forgetting his name.
No,
Phil McCrevis or something.
I tell you like this: don't do the same thing to Bryce Young that we're doing to Tua. Bryce Young is a problem. Now, with that being said, I would take Bryce Young.
Jerkovich.
I would take Bryce Young over Jared Goff. But after that, I wouldn't take another quarterback over Bryce Young.
Again, just the thing with Jerkovich, and I like the Boston College kid too, but he's 1-2 on the year. Losses against Rutgers without their quarterback and 8 starters. At Virginia Tech, and then they beat Maine. I mean, Braylon is.
You know what you got to do to beat Maine?
Braylon has totally sold me on this. Braylon has totally sold. If you are a great quarterback in college, I guarantee you'll have a winning record. Or you have done some significant winning. If you are not, you are not going to make it in the NFL. It is very rare that a kid makes it in the NFL, quarterback makes it in the NFL that didn't win in college at the quarterback position.
Yeah, no, it's easy to look at Tom Brady and say, oh, well, Tom Brady didn't win. He didn't do anything. Look, whenever they put him in, Tom came back. What was Tom's nickname at Michigan when he split time with Drew Henson? It was Captain Comeback. He was Captain Comeback. He was coming back all the time, getting in games, winning games. They won the Big Ten championship 3 times while he was there. And, oh, by the way, his last year there, they won a BCS championship. Damn sure won a BCS championship game. But they won a BCS game against Alabama, who had Sean Alexander, by the way, one of the best running backs in the last 20-year era.
Hey, just by the way, just to finish my thought, if you're giving me Lamar Jackson next year, yes, then Jared Goff is not the quarterback. I would take Lamar.
Yeah, I definitely would. Tampa would too.
Someone said Josh Allen didn't win in college. So I'd have to look back at that.
Nothing is 100%.
No, nothing is.
Nothing is 100%. There's always going to be a caveat. There's always going to be an outlier.
There's always.
But I just don't want you to sell. You're selling high. I mean, just a couple of months ago, we wanted to get this guy out of here because he had small hands and he fumbles.
No,
his hands didn't grow.
Exactly.
Either way. And I reserve the right to change my mind.
Yes, you do, of course.
We
all do.
I'm not just because I had a bad take doesn't mean because I said it. I got to dig even further and say, oh no,
it's not a bad take. It's your opinion right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying about the Malik Willis at 2. That was obviously a bad take, but I still like Malik Willis a lot. But just because I said something back then doesn't mean I have to continue to say it just because I said it the first time.
But that's what they tell us that we're locked into it, man.
Yeah,
we can't, as far as the people listening, we're locked into that.
I do love Malik Willis, though, and I think he will be a Pro Bowler in this league. We're going to take a break. Come right back. When we do, we'll try to track down Ron Johnson. He's pregame show with the Vikings and, of course, Minnesota Golden Gophers. Detroit guy. Went to Martin Luther King High School before going to the University of Minnesota. We'll talk to him, but first a message from Swiss.
There is nothing better on a game day than being at a rockin' tailgate. With all the fun comes responsibility too. Host liquor liability is an important coverage when hosting high school, college, or NFL games. The Pro Tailgate is the one, though. Let Market Swiss Insurance cover you. We see fights all the time in stadiums. Usually there's liquor involved. Usually they're at tailgates. Usually they start at tailgates. You know what? You don't want to be a part of that mess. You don't want to be the part of that. You want Mark to cover you. Let Mark Swiss Insurance Group cover you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Looking to sell or buy your home? Who would you rather have do it than Mike Phillips? I know I wouldn't have anybody else. Mike Phillips is that guy. Whether you're a player or a fan, helping you buy, sell, or invest, Mike Phillips, that's his top priority. Being in the game for 23 years makes him number one in the business. And you know I know a little something about being number one. Mike Phillips does too. Take my word for it. If you have real estate needs, call Mike Phillips, 313-403-0011. Game on.
Game on with the Lions and the Vikings this week. This is going to be one of those telling games to me, Braylon. I mean, again, I too did not think that the Minnesota Vikings were this 13-4 type world beater team that so many people anticipated coming into this season. We're going to learn a lot about the Detroit Lions, in my opinion. Are they the same old Lions? Are they going to go out there and get pounded? Are they going to go out there, put up a fight, or are they going to go out there and win? I think we'll be able to tell a lot about these guys after week 3 in Minneapolis.
Detroit Lions haven't won a lot on the road in the last couple of years. They're not a team that's built to win on the road in the past, but that's the past. This is the present. You see what they did against Philly. Now, if you're playing the odds game, you're looking at what Philly did against Minnesota, and you're looking at what the Detroit Lions did against Philly. Looks like Detroit is more than comparable to play that game against the Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins looks like the same guy, gets caught in headlights like a deer, can't handle the bright lights. He's going to give you some interceptions, give you some passes. But how are they going to respond off a short week? You know what, Ryan? It's not about what Justin Jefferson does. It's not about what Kirk Cousins is going to do. It's not about Danielle Hunter. It's not about Zadarius Smith. And it's not about head coach Kevin O'Connell. It's about the Detroit Lions. How do they want to progress moving forward? Now, we keep giving them kudos for how they played in the first two games. They've scored points. They've made plays. They lead the NFL with plays over 20 yards at 11. Darius Slay has 2 of 5 50-yard plays so far in the NFL. Like, you can go on and on about the stats. But it just seems different this time around. It seems like this team gets it. It seems like they paid attention to Dan Campbell in training camp and OTAs and minicamp and when workouts first started back in March. So I think they're a team that can go up there to Minnesota. Keep in mind, I had Minnesota winning the division.
Yeah. I did too, by the way.
I still do.
7.
I still do.
And the tiebreaker.
But the Detroit Lions can't beat them. But you know what they're going to have to do, which the Detroit Lions haven't typically done well? You got to start fast. You got to start fast. You got to go up to Minnesota. You got to start fast. You need to put some points on the board in the first quarter. And I'm not talking about a field goal. I need 10 points in the first quarter. Go down there, drive that offensive line against their defensive line. I take our offensive line every day of the week. Get the ball, establish the run, keep their crowd out of it because it gets loud. US Bank Stadium, it gets loud there. Got to go up there, take their crowd out of it, and then play your game plan. They can win, but they got to start early. They can't wait and try to play the comeback game like they do typically.
You know what's interesting, too, about a game like this, and we've been talking a lot about Amon-Ra St. Brown this week, and the thing about him is he's going up against, and they won't be on the field at the same time, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is playing against a guy in Justin Jefferson who is widely considered one of the top 3 or 4 wide receivers in all of football. And I think Amon-Ra, and I'm going to play this cut for you too, talking about all the players that he got passed up in the draft. I also think that you step up a little bit when you know the guy on the other sideline is getting all the love, is getting all the pub. Even though you won't face him one-on-one on the field, you know who's on the other sideline. Here's Amon-Ra, though, how personal he takes it, all these other wide receivers and teams that passed him up.
Yeah. You know, the draft, it is what it is. I think I mean, even the Commanders, they got a guy before me over there. I believe his name is De'Ami Brown. I don't know how many catches he had. You guys can probably tell me that, or how many yards he had. But I don't forget things like that. You know, I see him across the sideline from where I'm standing during the game, and every team that I'm gonna give every team hell.
I mean, honestly, we're watching Miami a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't see him in the game much.
Like Dave said, you fell because of the size and the speed and some of these things.
So Amon-Ra taking it personally, and you had mentioned, you know, Tom Brady knows the
quarterbacks,
the Brady Six. The Brady Six. I mean, there was a documentary made about the 6 quarterbacks that were taken. Spurgeon Wynn was taken before Tom Brady was. Amon-Ra seems to be that type of guy, not only who was taken in the draft before him, but again, Bray, the guys on the other sidelines, like a Justin Jefferson, who, by the way, did not have a great game. You know he's going to want to come out this week.
Yeah, you know, it's good that he takes it personal. We talked about Randy Moss. Randy Moss took it very personal. Those teams, I think those 20, because I think he was 23rd overall in the 1988 draft. So he took 1998 draft, so he took it personal. When the Detroit Lions were drafting guys like Terry Fair. He took it very personal, and guess what? He made the Lions pay. I was at that game the first time he played. He took a zero screen to the house. He took a post route to the house. I think he had something like 148 yards. But coming back to Amon-Ra St. Brown, you like that he takes it personal because he's putting in the work. Now, it's one thing to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to take it personal, man. Like, the hell with those guys. They went after that. But it's another thing when you believe that in your mind, but then you're out there working, right? When you're out there putting in that extra work, when you're catching 1,000 passes a day off the jug machine, when you're looking at the film over and over, when you're staring at the wall, just throwing the ball up in the offseason, like, yep, can't wait to play Minnesota week 3. Yep, Justin Jefferson, they said he was better than me. I got something for those guys when we play them. Like, there's something to that attitude, there's something to that mindset, and I think he has it. In fact, I know he has it. So it's going to be fun to watch him because he's going to be looking at 18 across the sideline the whole game, man. He's going to be looking at that guy like, whatever this guy does, I can do it. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I tell you, his attitude is a very good one. It's a strong one. He's going to be a guy that leads this team moving forward. He's going to be a leader on this Lions team if he isn't already. All
right, Thursday Night Football. Also, lots of news and notes to go around the NFL. We will do that next. But first, a message from SMA.
The sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health as well as addiction. Their podcast, This is the S Word, and we talk about it every day. The S Word is for stigma because we are trying to destigmatize mental health. We are trying to destigmatize addiction. When we destigmatize it, it makes it more normal. It helps and it allows people to come out of the woodworks and admit that they have something going on, that they have a little bit of depression, that they have a little bit of anxiety. Now they can come to us and we can give them answers. Go to thesportsma.com and see what they are doing over there. It's tremendous work, having a conversation. Sean Jordan and the NFL Alumni Association. Lomas Brown is a part of it as well, Big Lom. So it's an amazing thing that they're doing. They're just providing content, context, and information. thesportsma.com.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more. From large luxury homes to starter homes, we will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
And Big Frog,
ribbit.
Get yourself a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog Novi. Just stop in and tell them we sent you, and they will print you up one right on the spot. So stop by Big Frog Novi today and get yourself a free t-shirt, or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
Novi.
Trying to have a guest in Ron Johnson Jr. on the show today. Doesn't look our connection's going to happen, but I just wanted to tell him congratulations. Ron's from Detroit, born and raised with the King, and me, like me, that was my big brother. Wanted to be like him growing up. Went to Minnesota. Got drafted in the 4th round by the Baltimore Ravens, but what I wanted to say was congratulations, because Ron did become a member of the M Club Hall of Fame there in Minnesota Golden Gophers. So from one brother to another, congratulations, Ron, on making the Hall of Fame there in Minnesota. Well deserved.
When's the M Club open up here in Michigan?
Don't get me started on that bullshit.
Honestly, that's what I wanted to talk to him about. It was the Gopher. Forget about the Lions and Vikings. Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about the Gophers and the Spartans.
We'll try tomorrow.
And by the way, so I am 1 year older than Ron. Okay,
yeah, he's 98.
Yeah, I'm 1 year older than Ron. When Ron was in high school, now listen. I know
he was amazing, man.
I know it's shocking for y'all to believe, but I never came out of the game, okay, ever. But if you would believe this, Ron Johnson in high school was must-see. This is before state champs, and this is before streaming. You actually had to go to the games to see the kids play, to see high school kids play. Man, Ron Johnson was spectacular, and you quickly understood why he was on his way to the University of Minnesota or Division I football at the time. It was just a different deal, the way he played football in high school. So just fantastic stuff.
Yeah, definitely. He's part of some special teams at Minnesota as well. They beat Michigan State up a couple of times. I mean, what was new about that era? But they also beat Ohio State the year Ohio State was ranked 1 in the country. I think it was 90. Was it 99 or 98? They beat Ohio. It's 98. They beat Ohio State. It was his freshman year. So.
Was that Abdul Khalik at quarterback?
Khalik, Abdul Khalik Assad, he was there. Yes, same time.
Yeah.
Assad.
They gave Michigan a hard time.
I was there.
Yeah.
You're talking about the 2003 game up there. Yeah, we were down 28.
Was that a night game?
Yeah, it was a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
We were down 28 points, and we scored a touchdown right at the end of the 4th quarter. John Navarre on the
my guy.
John Navarre scored a 50-yard double pass. Like, just imagine John Navarre slow ass running down the field.
Oh my God!
54-yard touchdown, and then we end up coming back and winning on the field goal with about a minute left.
That's so awesome. Great. JB, hit it. We are going to go around the NFL.
Yes, sir. You know what tonight is, don't you?
Thursday night football.
Thursday night football.
There he is. That's
Don't
Ron.
flip off.
What a beauty.
I wanted to ask Ron this question. I wanted to ask him, what was he saying to Tyrell Dortz in this play after he scored on the Michigan State, Minnesota?
I told you. That's what he said. I told you.
Oh, that's perfect. That's about to be my new I told you meme.
Hey, Thursday night football tonight. We've got a boring one. The Steelers at the Browns. The Browns and the Steelers. Steelers are getting 4 points in this game, and I think the over-under, what's the over-under, 40?
No idea.
38.5? We'll talk to Scotty G on that one, but Browns, Steelers.
JB says yes, 38.5.
Yeah, on Amazon.
He's got the under.
Amazon Prime. Oh, Amazon Prime. So I'm at the bowling alley tonight, and of course I won't be able to watch it. I'll have to watch it on my phone, because who the hell has Amazon Prime in a bowling alley?
Nobody.
That's the crappy part.
You watch Judge.
Yeah, I get Judge on Fox. Well, I got my phone. I'll watch it on my phone. Judge against the Red Sox tonight.
Both Sox.
But we'll talk about that a little bit later. How about the Patriots and the Ravens this Sunday? We talked about Lamar Jackson. We talked about Bill Belichick. Lamar Jackson said, well, I'll let him tell you. He actually saw Belichick smile.
I seen Belichick smile. Usually I see him, he's like puzzle face, like that straight face guy. When I see him smile, I'm like, dang, you got humor. Like, I told him that. He was like, yeah. I'm like, I wasn't expecting you to be smiling. Like,
do you remember what made him smile?
No. No, I don't.
Good old Lamar got Bill Belichick smiling, and someone asked Bill Belichick in his press conference about Lamar Jackson and is he elite? I'll let Bill tell you in his own way.
Without a doubt. It's the type of player that's a MVP type of candidate. So I think he's more than answered him. But we'll see what his contract is. That'll answer him.
He just smiled again.
Why is it everybody knows that Lamar Jackson is elite except the Baltimore Ravens? Why is it everybody knew Lamar Jackson was elite coming out of college except the Baltimore Ravens?
Everybody's trying to save money.
Like everybody's trying to discredit Lamar Jackson. Never mind. Don't get me started.
No, it's a good conversation.
No, because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole today. We do it enough. Like,
well, here's the thing, because I do think this is interesting. I could not believe, Maz, you could speak to this, the way the Yankees organization treated Derek Jeter when it came to contract time.
Terrible.
I did not even believe it until Derek Jeter. How in the world could you take this all-time great Yankee who is coming up in big moments, and not want to pay him elite money?
And they put Cashman, hey, you got to go talk against him.
Yeah.
Brian Cashman, the GM, had to do the dirty work of the owners and say, hey, we want you to say this about him. We want you to say he can't do this, he can't do that. And Jeter he would just shake his head in disbelief.
So, again, my perspective is evolving a little bit on things like this, because if you're the freaking Yankees and you ain't paying Derek Jeter after he gives you 2 World Series, it's crazy.
I think for at least with Derek Jeter, and like this may sound ignorant, but I followed Derek Jeter. I love Derek Jeter. He actually came to the 2003 Michigan-Ohio State game, the 100th game. We hung out after we beat Ohio State, yada, yada, yada. I think with them it was like the skill side of things, like where they tried to negate Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, look, he doesn't hit the home runs like that. It was like, oh, well, yeah, he's a decent fielder. Blah. So they tried to negate him on the talent level side of things. But the one thing he possesses that no one else does is just way beyond talent. He possesses the will to win.
Aren't they doing
and the will to lead.
Aren't they doing that with Lamar? He can't throw.
Exactly. He can't throw. Oh, he's just a running quarterback. Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And Baltimore Ravens, you guys are going to be sorry.
I hope they keep talking about him like that, to be honest with you, because if he's on the market, man.
Just imagine he wins another MVP this year like you guys predicted.
Right? Give me one more here, bro.
Well, he did hit the top 5 Pro Football Focus top quarterbacks. Top 1, of course, is Josh Allen, followed by Jalen Hurts, Tua, Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson.
Wow.
So there you go. Those are your top 5 through week 2 of the NFL.
How about Jalen Hurts and Tua there?
It's so funny. Everybody on that list, with the exception of Josh Allen, was negated in some way. Jalen Hurts is getting negated now. Tua's still getting negated now. Lamar Jackson's still getting negated now. That's crazy.
You don't want another one, or are you good? I can save it for tomorrow.
One more. Save it for tomorrow.
We got to do the AFC around
yeah,
the
we got a top 10 Thursday.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna do that
it's
next.
It's not fine. We gotta do.
But even Josh Allen, 6 teams passed on Josh Allen in the 2018 draft.
He's freaking Wyoming.
But
Crimea River.
Number 1 quarter. But isn't that your job as a general manager to evaluate that quarterback? Either way.
Yeah, that's true.
We're gonna take a break. Come right back when we do Top 10 Thursday. Braylon gonna give you the AFC Power Rankings. But first, a message from the Foaling Warehouse.
Great game of football and bowling over in Hamtramck. Get on down there. Get your foal on. 2 ways to play it. It's $12 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation for $120. You get it for 2 hours, and you can put 12 people on a lane. Any drink you want, they have multiple full bars, over 100 beers to offer on the $2 mystery beer machine. Bring your own food in or have it delivered. They don't mind. Get your Fold on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries, what will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
At Planet Fitness, in case you didn't know, Planet Fitness is the official studio sponsor of Woodward Sports. It's also home to the judgment-free zone.
No judgments.
Where you can work out for just $10 a month. Or,
only $10.
Absolutely, right? Or upgrade yourself to the Black Card and get free unlimited guest privileges, a hydro massage, and much more. Join in club today or go to planetfitness.com.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. We got Fletch. We got Jeremy Bryant, affectionately known in this room as JB. By the way, can we get a shot of his sweatshirt?
His sweatshirt is fire.
Can you move over there? There you go. Life's too short to bet the under. Amen to you, JB. Amen to you. So you taking the over tonight? Is that what you're doing?
Despite what my sweatshirt says, I am taking the under.
Yeah. Thursday night under, divisional game, almost a guarantee. As close as you can get.
I'm betting the over.
It is a top 10. What are we doing, fellas? Thursday.
No, I'm good.
Good. Top 10 Thursday, Braylon AFC Power Rankings.
Yesterday you did the NFC Power Rankings, so it was only right that today we did the AFC. Yeah, it was difficult. The AFC is a crapshoot. Like, there's like 5, and then there's a bunch of one-on-ones and a bunch of interesting things. But let's just run through it real quick. We got Scotty G coming up. Fletch, if you will.
Scotty G's got time. Take your time.
16 through 11. Colts suck. Texans suck. Titans, I told you about those guys. They're 0-2. They suck. The Raiders, that's the surprise right there. I know they lost a close game in week 1 to the Chargers, but that comeback by the Cardinals last week, gee whiz, man. I got it. 0-2, the Raiders at 13. The Browns are 1-1, got them at 12, and got the Steelers at 1-1 at 11 above them because the Steelers did beat the Cincinnati Bengals. So moving ahead, let's see what we got going now. I mean, you guys good with this, right?
I don't have any problem with that. I think the Raiders, I did have them finishing in last place in the AFC West.
I think the Raiders will move up, but for right now, that's the Raiders spot. That's where they deserve to be.
The only thing, well, no, I want to see who you got at 10 because the team at 10 to me is, can I say it without can I guess the team at 10?
Yeah.
Because they're real close to this list.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos.
You won't like my take.
Oh my gosh. Keep going.
Pipe down.
Go ahead.
Jets at 10. You see what they did last week. They had to come back. Joe Flacco is playing some pretty good ball for the old man. You know, the plus 30 club, give him. The Bengals, 9 for what they've done right now. They're 0-2. They should have won week 1 against the Steelers, but it's not a should have league. They did not win, but they'll figure it out. They'll fix it. Patriots 1-1 as well. They look a lot better against the Steelers, although they still got a lot to figure out. Although I do understand you still have Belichick on the defensive side of things. The Broncos are 1-1, and it was ugly last week. But I saw what they're capable of in week 1. I saw what they were capable of on the road with Russell Wilson. I know what they're capable of because they have a guy that's been to the Super Bowl. He can win games. They'll figure it out. You saw it get the pass to Jerry Jeudy early in that Seahawks game. Get the ball to Andrew Beck, the tight end. And then, obviously, the running back is an amazing running back, Javonte John Washington. So they'll be okay. They just got some things to figure out, and one of them is Nathaniel Hackett. Hey, look, you just shut up and let Russell run the show.
So, again, okay, so I forgot about the Jets. I would definitely put the Broncos ahead of the Jets. But I'll tell you, I can't believe we're not talking about this team. The Jacksonville Jaguars you have at number 6 in the AFC, which we all thought was going to be a world beater of a conference, and it still might be. But yesterday, I had the Detroit Lions at 4 in the NFC. Today, you've got Jacksonville at 6 in the AFC. These are teams that were 1 and 2 in last year's NFL draft. And it just goes to show you, I'm not putting these guys, in the Super Bowl, Lions and Jags or anything like that after 2 weeks. But what I am saying is how easy it is if you have a competent organization to get good quickly in the NFL. I think that's worth noting.
Like what they're doing, man. They're giving the ball to Trevor Lawrence. They're letting him make some plays. Christian Kirk, who everybody said they overpaid, they may have overpaid for. That was one of the big issues I had with us picking up DJ Chark. One question was, why would the Jacksonville Jaguars release a wide receiver if they needed a wide receiver? So still very excited on DJ Chark. But I think the Jags, man, you see Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker's playing some pretty good ball, man. He had interception, touchdown in week 1. He had a sack, and he had a sack last week and the week before. So he's doing his job as a number 1 pick overall, much like Aiden Hutchinson doing his job as a number 2 pick overall.
Last thing about the Jags, they have the 4th best point differential in the AFC as well. I just want to point that out because I do think that stat is one that tells a lot of the story.
Who do you like, Jags or Chargers this week then?
Chargers. Stop playing.
Why? Herbert might not play.
You said what?
Herbert might not play. He's got busted ribs.
Chase Daniels, $42 million. Prove it to me.
There you go.
Chase Daniels, $42 million. The reason why I put the Bengals at 9, though, is they're 0-2. If the Bengals were 1-1, I would have the Bengals at 6. Because I know the talent that they have on the offensive side of the ball with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon. He's still running the ball at a clip. That offensive line is going to get Joe Burrow killed.
Mitchell Trubisky and Cooper Rush. And they've never had the lead. Yeah. So I think that's appropriate.
Exactly. So that's why they sit there.
Yeah.
Here we go. 1 through 5. Pretty easy. The Ravens are 5. Dolphins are 2. You saw what they did to come back now. You can say, well, the Dolphins aren't going to come back on teams like that. They're not going to score 28 in every fourth quarter. They probably won't, but guess what? They're 2-0 and they came back on the Ravens. So that says more about them and also more about that Ravens defense, who we expected to be good off injuries. Hasn't been that thus far. 3, the Chargers. You can argue that the Chargers moved ahead of the Chiefs in that game. If you're not the same person. The Chiefs are number 2. Patrick Mahomes is proving that, you know what, I won the MVP, I won Super Bowl MVP, and I'm out for blood again. And obviously number 1 is that man in Buffalo, Josh Allen. So that's my list right there. As I have it, as I see it, I think I did a decent job.
I'd flip. I would put the Chargers at 5 and move the Dolphins and Ravens up. I'd go Bills, Chiefs, Dolphins, Ravens, Chargers.
Chargers should have beat the Chiefs, and I know we don't play in that league, but Chargers had every opportunity to beat the Chiefs. Meanwhile, the Ravens, that defense is bad. And then, I guess you could do that.
I think the just going back to page 3, I don't think there might not be a bigger surprise in the National Football League than how bad Indianapolis is.
Terrible.
We talked about it yesterday.
We had it as a playoff team.
Yeah.
You got to fire that guy.
Seriously, if they lose, who do they got this week? Week 3. They got the Chiefs.
Yeah,
they're going to get blown out by the Chiefs. He might get fired this
60.
week. And remember in Hard Knocks when the Lions and Colts were having practice together?
The fights?
Well, not only the fights, but the Lions coaching staff talking about how great they did against the Chiefs. Remember that? Against the Colts?
Yeah.
They said, oh, man, we really competed today. Like, we really had a great practice against you guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
what do you think the spread is in that Chiefs-Colts game?
You got to talk like that, though. You got to hype you guys up.
It might be the largest spread of the weekend. I'd say double digits.
Really?
Yeah. What is it?
5.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
they're not getting blown out.
I don't know. I disagree. I don't know. I think they are getting blown out. I think that's an easy one. Sometimes you can't always do that. I think that's an easy one.
This is true, but the thing about the Chiefs, and that's why I said I still thought about moving the Los Angeles Chargers ahead of the Chiefs. Chiefs looked like they needed Tyreek out there, man. Like, if you remember watching that game last Thursday, the Chargers and the Chiefs, like, yeah, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, but that's because he's that good. Like, that offense, man, like, they struggled. Like, they struggled, and they're going to get exposed, man. If Herbert's ribs don't get cracked, then maybe he makes that throw to when they were up 10-0 or whatever it was. But they're going to get exposed bad at some point in the season if they don't figure it out with Juju Smith-Schuster, Sky Moore, and that wide receiver core.
The NFL are geniuses. They put these teams together. There's not a spread bigger than 7 for the whole weekend.
Really? Who's the biggest one?
It's the Chargers with a banged-up quarterback at home against a team that everyone likes now, and the Jaguars.
The Jaguars are a 7-point favorite against
Underdog.
Oh.
At Chargers.
Oh.
But Chargers have a quarterback that has busted rib cage.
Yeah.
Wow.
What else is new? Everybody's hurt.
I know, but that's something. You
It
can't
is
throw the ball.
interesting. It is interesting. But full week of the NFL. We've got a Thursday night football tonight. Looks like a snoozer. But the Big Ten schedule starts for Michigan and Michigan State. We'll get to that next with Scotty G, Woodward Bets. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. It is no secret that new cars are hard to come by. They are available at Les Stanford. Got to make a plan. Allocation coming in for lease or purchase of new vehicles. Les Stanford has over 300 pre-owned cars on their lot right now. All makes, all models, all year. Some with less than 500 miles, so they're like new. Get off your heels into some wheels. Come on down today, practically giving them away at Les Stanford Chevrolet and Cadillac. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Hey, it's Scott from the Bet Show. Thursday night football coming at you here tonight. We're going to break it all down for you. We got a little bit of weather issues here tonight. We also got some pretty strong trends. You'll have to join us at 4:30 at the Woodward Bets YouTube page to hear all about it. You also got to get over to their app store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, the best place to check all the odds of sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, let's get to some fun coupons. We need some winners. So for tonight, I'm rolling with the Steelers. The Steelers are 20-6 against the spread in divisional games as underdogs under Tomlin. Sounds good to me. oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
At Alta, uptime matters. It's Alta Equipment. They have everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, Alta Rental has got you covered. Call them today at 844-GO, the number 2, Alta. That's 844-GO-2-ALTA.
Alta, uptime, it matters. WoodwardSports.com, Woodward Sports Chat. Thanks for being along with us. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey, Fletch, and JB. Thanks for making Woodward Sports part of your day, however you consume it. We certainly appreciate it. Tell a friend about Woodward Sports. We are having some fun in football season, and that includes betting. Scotty G joins us now. Woodward Bets, 4:30 weekdays, 9 a.m. weekends. Scotty, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, man, glad to be here, guys. Another big weekend of football in front of us. And, hey, now it's starting to be like fall-like weather, so it really feels like football season.
No doubt about it. It is my favorite time of the year. Scotty, let me start with this Thursday night football tonight. Browns and Steelers. Steelers a 4-point dog in this one. Browns at home. Traditionally, anyway, you look at a division game on a Thursday night, it just screams under. That Thursday night under was a big trend last year. Where are you on that? Do you have a pick on the side or total in this one?
Yeah, I mean, you're right with it there, Ryan, with the unders. And so far, that trend has been playing out so far this season. It's 6-0 so far in primetime games, that being the under. So definitely be looking at that. But Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches in the NFL as an underdog. In his division, he's 20-6 against the spread as an underdog. He's 46-23 all time as an underdog. So a lot of trends are pointing toward Pittsburgh. I think with that number being up at 4.5, Ryan, I think the Browns actually win by 3 today. That's my call. But I actually favor a little bit more props. My favorite bet tonight, though, is the under there.
Just a question about the game itself. I mean, Mitchell Trubisky struggling so far early on. They did get a win in week 1, but how much longer do you think before they go to the rookie, Kenny Pickett?
If them fans keep chanting, Kenny, Mike Tomlin's hearing that over his shoulder. But, we'll see. I think the rookie's just got to, earn his stripes a little bit in practice. Who knows, what's going on there. Obviously, they're going to get their first-round pick in there. Trubisky, I mean, he's nothing special, but I think you're going to see a lot of running here today from Cleveland. So we'll see if Trubisky. I think it's going to be a pretty slow-paced game. It's actually the lowest over/under of the week, so we got a pretty boring game set up for us here tonight.
Scotty, who do you like on Sunday? You got some of your best bets for Sunday for us?
On Sunday, looking around.
I know it's early.
I was listening a little bit here before you guys came on, and I think you guys are spot on with the Chiefs. I think the Colts are struggling a little bit. I really do like the Chiefs here. I think that's a pretty cheap buy. I was just kind of looking at their schedule. That's actually my suicide pool pick. I'm going to burn the Chiefs here this week. They got a pretty tough schedule. Really can't use them until like week 9. And then another one I got here, I like the over in this Miami and Buffalo game. I think you should see a lot of points being scored in that one. I mean, this Miami team's been, just running up the scoreboard so far this year. They're passing a lot. And then also I like the over in this Lions game with Minnesota. The Lions right now are running the most plays from the line of scrimmage at 135.5, averaging in the 2 games. They average 72 points in the 2 games combined, which is obviously high in the NFL. But I think that Lions defense is going to struggle, but I think that offense can keep up with a lot of teams. And Jared Goff, the most picked up player in all of free agency in fantasy football this week. So how about that, guys?
How about it? Hey, don't you think that Colts spread is dirty? 5.5? Come on, man. That looks too easy.
They're begging you. I mean, they're begging you, man. I mean, they're really begging you. I mean, I'm just going to stick with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are a really good spot. I mean, I don't understand why. That spread should be at least 7.5, I would think. It should be the highest spread of the week.
That's exactly, yep. I thought it was 10.
Yeah, I mean, it should be the highest of the week.
But it's not.
Right. Interesting.
Go ahead, take the Colts, Maz.
I
See
will.
how it goes.
Yeah,
I will.
Take the Colts.
Don't do that, Maz. But, I mean, there's so many other things to bet on this week. I think, if you are looking at the Colts, just pass it. Just go somewhere else. But I think the Chiefs get the job done.
Stay off the Chiefs on your suicide pool. I'm telling you. I got a hunch like last year when the Titans and the Texans were at close to the end of the year. Everyone was on the Titans. The Texans had nothing to play for, and they won the damn game and knocked out. Well, they knocked me out of the pool. I can tell you that for sure. And that sucked. This game reeks.
Just think about this for a second, Scotty. The Chiefs are only a 5.5-point favorite against the Colts. The Lions are a 6-point underdog against the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, we saw how bad Kirk Cousins looked in. I'm
Give me
watching
6
the
all
Vikings.
day.
Did they forget about Dalvin Cook? That guy, that awesome running back they got behind him? If they don't use that guy, man, the Lions are going to kick their butt. So we'll see what happens. But I like a lot of points to be scored in that game, guys. I mean, both teams are leaving a lot of time on the play clock when they're snapping the ball. A lot of plays going to be run in that game, so I like the points.
All right, let's go college. Last week you told us the only way to bet on Michigan is to bet them in the first half. What are you doing this week?
I'll be honest. I mean, I'm going to take them again in the first half here. I think, Maryland's been getting quite a bit of pub and press, 2 of it. I mean, they won last year 59-18. I'm just not impressed with the teams that Maryland's played. Now, you can say, yeah, Michigan hasn't played anybody either. But, hey, we are the defending champs. So
Say it again, Scotty.
Hey, defending champs. I mean, you got to earn your stripes. But I still think that Michigan gets the job done. I really like them in the first half. And that's actually my favorite play in the Michigan game this week.
And MSU, Minnesota. Minnesota is favored in East Lansing by a field goal.
Are you serious? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, you know what, guys? That one started out Michigan State -2. Now it's gone all the way to them getting 3. So that line has changed. A lot of money's been coming in
on Minnesota. I mean, P.J. Fleck, he's got a good quarterback. He's got one of the best running backs over there in the Big Ten. The Spartans better watch out because I think P.J. Fleck's got something going. If you were looking at them both teams like a stock, Michigan State or Minnesota's going up, Michigan State going down. Spartans need to reel it in, man. They just didn't look like they could block very well in that game. But maybe we give them a pass because they had to travel across country. But now let's think about it, too. They were also 1 day short on a week. They had to travel on Sunday. So they also have 1 day short to prepare for this game.
Has P.J. Fleck beaten Michigan or Michigan State since he's taken over, too?
I don't think so.
No. It's a bit of a Super Bowl for him as a coach, is it not?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he has. But, I mean, you know he's a big rah-rah guy from his time here at within the state. But, we'll see what happens. But, going to the MAC real quick, you guys got me thinking my favorite bet of the whole weekend is a local team, and that would be the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Going to play Buffalo. They just went out and beat Arizona State. I think they're feeling really good about themselves. They ran the ball a ton. Buffalo is just one of the – I mean, they're right there with Hawaii, is one of the worst teams, is giving up yards per play. I think Eastern wins by 20 this weekend, and that's a pretty low spread at about 5.5.
They got Herm Edwards fired out in Arizona State.
Yeah, they did. Hey, you got to play to win the game, guys.
They said he got fired on the field.
He did.
They said it was alleged that when
that video was leaked.
They said that when the president whispered in his ear, they said that's not the conversation that transpired. Baloney.
Right. What did he say? We need to talk.
Which is code for your ass is out of here.
Yeah.
Just to clean up something. Go ahead, Scotty.
I was gonna say they told him to take the bus home. There's no plane ride ticket for you, buddy.
Hey, Scotty, just P.J. Fleck has only played Michigan State one time in his career, lost. Played Michigan twice and lost. Yeah. I did want to ask you about baseball. Bettors, the story at ESPN.com, bettors are flocking to the home run props for Aaron Judge and also Albert Pujols. Will he or won't he get 700? Will Judge get 62? When will he get 62? Have you been following that at all on the betting side of things?
Absolutely. Hey, it's fun. I mean, I love betting on. Yesterday I bet on Aaron Judge to hit a homer, and then a great comeback victory there. Stanton hit a grand slam in the 11th inning. But, yeah, today Judge is plus 195. I already bet it. I mean, I'm getting 2-1 on Aaron Judge to hit a homer. We'll see if Waka pitches to him. I do expect the veteran to throw to him. So I think Judge is in a pretty good spot to hit a homer. Now, I haven't been riding the Pujols ones, but Aaron Judge sure is fun. This is a great season. I'm going to sit back and enjoy it, and if I can make a few bucks, that's what we do here at Woodward Bets.
You know, I did hear a stat that of all the players that hit 60 or more home runs, the time it took them to hit 62 from 61
it's a while.
Was 3 games or less.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 3 games or less. So tonight would be the second game.
Roger Maris hit number 60 on September 26th.
Yeah.
So Judge is ahead of that.
Yeah. So interesting
How bad
stuff.
does baseball want Judge to break the all-time home run record? They want
that
that
would be
bad.
awesome.
I mean, I think they really want that. They want to take Bonds out of that spot.
Of course they would.
I mean, he's got some work to do.
But
if he can hit 2 or 3, we'll talk about it.
What's the odds on that? On beating Bonds? Is there even odds?
Well, that would
I'm
be
sure
what?
if I dug it up, I could probably find it. It probably is a long shot. I would guess at 15-20 to 1, I would assume.
20, that's
I'm
it?
focused on today, Maz. Plus 195. I think he gets it done.
All right, buddy.
There
Good
you
luck.
go. Scotty G, we'll be watching 4:30 on woodwardsports.com. Also, the weekends, 9 a.m., baby.
Yes, sir.
Woodward Bets on woodwardsports.com. Thanks, Scotty G.
Good luck bowling
Bring you
tonight.
A couple of money. Yes,
you too, Maz.
Thanks.
Maz, you bowling tonight?
Yeah, I'm bowling tonight. I guess I'll have the Aaron Judge game on because they're not going to get Amazon.
I hate watching a game on Amazon
Stupid
again
Amazon.
just because you
can't change the channel.
No, I mean
you can't pause it. You can't do anything.
Mind you, pay attention tonight. Watch Prime Vision.
Prime Vision.
Watch the Prime
What is
Vision.
that? How do I click on that?
It'll show you, like, you go out of, you basically, once you're in there, once you're in the game, they'll give you a couple different channels, a couple different watching options, like a couple things you can watch. You'll click on it. It's not hard at all.
All right.
I'll walk you through it through FaceTime.
What is it? What do they do?
So basically, they zoom in out of the game, but then they put boxes all around the game, and you can watch wide receivers run routes on the DB.
No kidding.
You can watch the offensive line play. You can watch the running back play. You can watch the play caller, and then they give you stats in the corner. So you can. It's like watching the tickers all the way around in different angles and different things.
You still get the announcers?
Yeah, you still hear the announcers, but you can just see the other aspects of the game. Yeah,
Al Michaels and
Kirk Herbstreit
on
you
the
think
call.
you think they're good together yet, or it takes a while?
I gotta see.
I think Al Michaels. I think they will be good because I've always liked Al Michaels. I used to love Kirk Herbstreit, even though he was an Ohio State guy. But I think Kirk just started off slow because the NFL game is faster.
Sure.
So I think what he did was he's kind of trying to like watch Al Michaels, kind of learn, listen, see the picking spots. It's gonna take a second, but he did get better in the second half. Like he was kind of flowing a little bit better. I think they're gonna be good.
Very good. Aaron Judge, 62. Albert Pujols, 70. What would you ask for if you caught one of those balls? We'll have some fun next. Get involved in the chat if you want to. WoodwardSports.com, Woodward Sports Chat. Let us know, what would you ask for reasonably? You can't say $10 million. I guess you could, but you're not going to get it. Pujols is 70th or Judge is 62nd. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It is that time. If you want to get an award-winning haircut experience, it is your last month to register to win the car of your dreams from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. No appointment necessary. It is wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new Field House. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Odds.
Raiders.
You gonna steal my show?
Sorry.
You gonna steal my shine?
Sorry.
Nah, I'm just messing with you, man.
Trader.
Trader.com. It's on one site for all your game day bets, play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best bets from all multiple sports books. That means whatever you want to bet, whatever sports book you want to bet on, guess what? Just come to OddsTrader and do it here. Simply put, they are the best. Forget the rest. Whatever plays you want to bet. We just talked to Scotty G. You want to place a bet on Aaron Judge to beat 62? Guess what? Do it on OddsTrader.com. You want to place bets on Aaron G to win the Triple Crown? Go to OddsTrader.com. You want to place bets that Ryan Ermanni was right and the Detroit Lions are going to win 10 games? We'll go to OddsTrader.com. Simply put, they are the best. Forget the rest.
Tickets have skyrocketed in New York in anticipation of Aaron Judge's 62nd home run. Would it be the most all-time the most all-time for a New York Yankee, most all-time for the American League.
Correct.
62 home runs.
Did you hear about JPP? Jason Pierre-Paul's a Raven, and Sean Payton was asked if he wants to get back in coaching, and he quoted, "If the right situation presented itself, I would definitely be interested." And we all know that would be the Cowboys.
Wow.
The Colts?
Oh, yeah.
Colts are a storied franchise. They're a storied franchise. I mean, they got good players. They got good situations. They just got a terrible coach right now. Or, excuse me, not like I said a terrible coach. They got a guy that doesn't seem like he can coach. Say it in that.
I wanted to give you this stat, too, by the way.
I actually hate Frank Wright.
Yeah, right.
Do you know why?
No.
So
he beat the Oilers.
That's why I love Maz. Maz knows.
Oh, 35-3.
Yep. Diehard Oilers fan. That's why I love the Tennessee Titans growing up, because my dad played for the Oilers. So
Love
I
the
always rooted
Oilers.
for him. What he did to the Oilers that day made me cry as a kid. I promise you, I was crying. I never forget. He also has the largest comeback in college.
He does.
Boston College.
Wow.
He's got the NFL and college, so I love him and hate him at the same time.
Interesting. Hey, by the way, Prime Video, their numbers are out for Thursday Night Football. 15.3 million people watched Prime Video Thursday Night Football.
As opposed
Last
to
year's Thursday Night Football opener, 13 13 million, actually. 13.0 million.
So you can't tell me that's that hard to access Prime.
No.
Apparently it's not.
47% increase.
And they're getting more Prime customers, I hear, logging on. And their owner, Jeff Bezos, could be the owner of
Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix Suns.
Who's going to outbid Bezos?
The also the number 2 program on broadcast or cable after the 15.3 million on NFL.
Ermanni and Edwards with Mass.
Young Shelton on CBS coming in at 3.5 million.
3 million. That's awesome.
Wow.
The NFL rocks.
It's king.
Amazon told advertisers that the average audience it estimated was 12 million. They got 15 million.
Return on your investment.
Unbelievable. Anything Amazon touches is just insane.
And by Amazon, we mean Bezos. But who's going to outbid Jeff Bezos? Like, how does the bidding war work? Because I don't assume, and this is pure ignorance, I don't assume you could just.
Works.
I don't assume, because you have to submit a number.
I'll tell you
right?
how it's supposed to work.
A silent
piece of paper, pen.
And then whichever
This is my offer.
So like they do the Olympics.
Yep.
Okay.
This is my offer.
Don't open the envelope.
Don't open the envelope. How it's supposed to
Correct.
work, wink, wink, is you then get the offer.
And tell the other guy.
And you say, okay, offer 1, 1.2 billion. Offer 2, 2 billion.
Here you go, right here. You can't see it. Jeff Bezos is throwing a 50 ball out there.
Yeah,
Why play games? Here's 10 billion.
It's a game.
Like, here's 10 billion. Who's sneezing at 10 billion?
It's a game to these
Can
guys.
you imagine playing? Can you imagine being a player playing for the Phoenix Suns and Jeff Bezos is your owner? Like Devin Booker. I know Devin Booker's like, he's praying it's Jeff Bezos.
Hey guys, before what do you got something here, JB?
No, I just had a thought. What about Matt Ishbia, the guy from UWM?
He ain't got money like Jay.
Nobody got money like
Nobody
Bezos.
got money like Bezos.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm waiting for him to buy the Pistons.
True.
Potentially.
They got some problems over
Hey,
there.
before we run out of show here, what would you do if you caught 62? What would you want?
62?
Yeah.
$1 million.
$1 million.
$1 million.
I'd have to obviously get a lawyer and check out what it's worth.
$1 million.
And whatever it's worth, that's what I want.
Million.
Because I'm not giving it away. That's life-changing money.
Well, technically, it's hard to know what it's worth because it's never technically been done at this level. Like 60, at this level, 62 by Aaron Judge in this climate.
He's getting $400 million, right? That's going to be his new contract.
Yeah, assume.
Yeah.
Peel off $1 million to me.
Come on, man.
$1
But you know what? They won't.
All right.
But they won't. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Hey, at the end of the day, if you want it, now if you don't want it, I'll find somebody else does, and I'll lower that price. But if he wants it, I feel like that's interesting because I feel like I would charge a collector more than I would charge Aaron Judge.
I'd put it in a safe at a bank and call it a day.
And
let me
just
know,
wait?
And just wait.
What?
That makes sense,
If I
though.
can't get my $1 million, I'm not leaving it in my house.
That makes sense. Throw it in the bank and say, hey, look, put it on Twitter. You can see my face out there. You know I have the ball. Braylon Edwards. It's in the safe. Talk to me when you guys want to get serious.
Yeah, I'd say $1 million. Give me $1 million.
Let's get $1 million.
That would be great.
Nothing wrong with $1 million.
Give me $1 million.
Let's get $1 million.
And a couple of black eyes, too, after you get your face pounded in from the scrum that is going to ensue. Diving for that ball.
You think Zach is going to get the ball? Zach
I don't know.
Hempel?
He's going tonight, isn't he?
He's going.
I want to test his theory. See if he's giving it away for
Braylon, get us out
He
of
ain't
here.
giving anything away.
free. He ain't giving nothing away. All right, man. Hell of a show by you guys. Lomas Brown, always appreciate you having you on the show. Tomorrow we will have Ron Johnson. Sorry about that today, but we will have him tomorrow. Having fun with the Detroit Lions. Man, it's fun to talk about a team that has a chance. It's a whole new conversation than we had last year. But for Maz on the couch, my man JB Smooth in the booth, and then Fletch over here to my right tackle, and then brother from another mother, Ryan Ermanni. We are Ermanni and Edwards with Maz.
Do I just go? I'm not going to drop. Go. All right. Go ahead. 2, 1. Oh, my God. Go. Oh, jeez. Oh, my. Oh. This isn't right. I don't get paid enough for this.